tonight we're going to talk about how to decrease pain in those who have rotator cuff injuries or discomfort. I'm Dr. Sarah Sewell of Resilience RX, and let's get started talking about the rotator cuff. So in the clinic, there is a lot of stuff that we can do hands-on, whether it's joint mobilizations, whether it's soft tissue work, if there's some discomfort or just muscle dysfunction there, and we can also do some dry needling to help bring that discomfort down. Tonight we're going to go over what you can do at home to help with that discomfort. So the first things first, this is applying to individuals who have a little bit more painful rotator cuff. So when they're reaching overhead, that itself is painful. So where we start with that is we want to desensitize that motion. So this is a PVC, but you can use a broom or something very similar at home. And you're going to, pretending this is the shoulder that's injured, you're going to use the other arm to help you reach overhead. So you can go on a diagonal, you can go directly in front of you, you can go out to the side. Typically going on a diagonal, partway between directly in front of you and partway out to the side is the most comfortable and gets the best results. You can also do a wall slide to help with the discomfort. So finding a wall, sliding your hand up and down that wall. Again, you can face the wall. You can be on an angle from the wall, or you can be directly away from the wall, going up and down. So that helps get some of that reaching overhead with that discomfort. That helps some of that go away. To target the muscles, the actual rotator cuff muscles, we can do something called an isometric hold. That basically just means you're pushing into something for a certain amount of time at a certain force in order to help decrease discomfort. So there's two main muscles we're going to target with that. One is going to be muscles that do this, and one is muscles that do this. So you'll find a surface that's hard, that doesn't move like a wall, and you'll press into it with your elbow, or you'll press into it with the back of your wrist. Below where your hand is, if you press in with just your hand, you're really just using your wrist and you're not using your shoulder muscles. The shoulder does this. This is rotation at the shoulder. It looks sometimes like elbow motion, sometimes people think it's wrist motion, but this is actually shoulder rotation. So rotating, so pushing exactly where my watch is into the wall, or make it more comfortable, switch the watch around, pushing this area into the wall. You're going to want to hold there about 45 seconds, and the force at which you push into the wall should be somewhere between 40 to 70% of what you can maximally push into the wall. I typically have people start closer to 40% because we want this to go well. We want it to be pain-free. The goal of this is to decrease pain and not flare symptoms up. So pushing into the wall, 45 seconds, holding that long at about 40 to 70% of max contraction. And max contraction is what you define as max contraction. So if you feel like you're pushing at about halfway, you're pushing at about halfway. Don't overthink it. A lot of people do that as well. You don't need to make it more difficult than it already is. So one set of that, resting about 2 to 3 minutes in between sets. You do want a good rest period, and then you'll do that 5 times. So I typically suggest people hang out here 45 seconds. They go, maybe they brush their teeth or something, and then they come back. Something like that to kind of break it up and work it into the day instead of just going and then waiting and then going. Most people are plenty busy and have enough things to do that they can find something to fill those 2 to 3 minutes with. So those are a couple techniques that you can try at home to decrease your discomfort in your rotator cuff. If those aren't working, it could be because they're too aggressive, or it could be they're too conservative, or it could be the dosage is wrong. Regardless, if you have questions, feel free to message us. We would love to help brainstorm and problem shoot that with you. And have a great night.